Hello students, today we shall discuss dielectrics and polarization. Okay, first let us understand what dielectrics are. Dielectrics are non-conducting substances and have negligible charge carriers. The definition is quite clear. You can compare dielectrics to insulators, okay, but there is slight difference. Dielectrics are less in charge carriers, okay, but insulators are considered to be completely devoid of charge carriers. That is the difference. Okay, next take a look at the figure. In the figure there is a substance, you can call it a dielectric. Okay, E naught is the external field applied to the dielectric. You can look E naught. Inside the dielectric, as soon as this E naught enters into the substance, another electric field, that is called internal electric field, is auto generated by the dielectric itself, that just opposes this E naught. Okay, thereby producing a net electric field inside the dielectric. What is that net electric field? That is E naught minus EI. Okay, E net is equal to E naught minus EI. Now E naught by E net, E naught by E net is equal to epsilon R. This constant is called dielectric constant of the substance. Very simple formula. E naught, that is external electric field, divided by net electric field inside the dielectric, is equal to epsilon R. Okay, it is also called relative permittivity. Okay, relative permittivity. Okay, now let us consider a metal or a conductor. For a conductor, we have already known that the internal electric field or the net electric field inside the conductor is 0. In the previous class, we have already known that inside the conductor net electric field is 0, because conductor completely blocks the external electric field from entering inside. That's why net electric field inside the conductor will be 0. As a result, epsilon R for a conductor will be infinite. That is infinity. Okay, it is one of the short questions often asked in the exam. So now there are two types of dielectrics. One is polar, another one is non-polar. Take a look at this figure. You look. First consider non-polar. What is a non-polar molecule? You understand? You look. These are nothing but plus minus means this is a molecule. Its plus charge and minus charge coincide. Here is another molecule. You can look. Okay, here the plus and minus charges coexist. Okay, they do not separate out, forming a dipole. That means there is no dipole moment inside the substance when no external field is applied. E is equal to 0 means no external field is applied. Okay, now what happens if the external field is applied? Here E is not equal to 0 means external field is applied now on this material. If external field is applied, suppose in this direction, I have forgotten to give the direction. The direction will be like this. Now look, if external field is in this direction, obviously minus charge will be in this direction, plus charge will be going away from that electric field. Similar is the case here. Now you look, these are dipole moments. Okay, coming from these non-polar molecules. Now the dipole moments are being composed inside the material automatically as soon as the external electric field is applied. These type of molecules are called non-polar molecules. What is non-polar molecule? Whenever external field is zero, no dipole moment is present. As soon as external field is applied, dipole moments are created. Okay. Simple definition is the substances in which positive charge and negative charge coincide whenever there is no external field present are called non-polar molecules. Okay. Next, polar molecules. External field is zero. Here you look. Already there are dipoles. Already there are dipole moments, but they are oriented in random fashion, not any particular direction or alignment. Now you look. Here again I am drawing the external field. Now you look, this is one dipole moment, this is another dipole moment. Okay, these are here oriented in random fashion, but here they are oriented in one direction, alignment. Okay, according to the external field applied. In this case, you look, these are called polar molecules because the substances in which the molecules or the positive and negative charges do not coincide even in the absence of external electric field. Okay, these are called polar molecules, and as soon as the electric field is applied, they are just aligned in that direction. Okay, so what are the examples? Examples of non-polar molecules are oxygen, hydrogen. Examples of non-polar molecules, oxygen and hydrogen. And examples of polar molecules are you look here, HCl and H2O. Okay. Examples of non-polar molecules are oxygen, hydrogen. Two examples sufficient, you can remember it. And examples of polar molecules are HCl and water or H2O. Okay. Now, here you look, another formula is there. This formula tells us that whether it is in non-polar molecule or polar molecule, what is the number of dipole moments produced per unit volume. Okay, of course in a polar molecule the numbers will be higher in comparison to non-polar molecules, because in non-polar molecules the molecules are already neutral, that means positive and negative charges are coinciding, but in this case already dipole moments are present. The external field's job is only to align them in one direction. That's why this number will be larger. But there is a measure to count the number of dipole moments per unit volume of the substance. This quantity is called polarization. Number of dipole moments produced in the presence of external electric field in the substance is called polarization. Okay, whether it is non-polar or polar material, no problem. This formula applies for all. So here P is the polarization, that is number of dipole moments per unit volume. Of course, the more the external electric field, more will be the number of dipole moments. That's why P is proportional to E. That's why here a constant of proportionality is multiplied. That is called chi. This is called chi. Chi E. Chi E is called the electric susceptibility. This chi is called electric susceptibility of the material. Okay. This is all about today. Thank you.